Hey guys, welcome back. We are going to start a game here with. We are not going to start a game here. I'm just going to help you set up the Manchester City Republic remaking of Pep Guardiola's Manchester City. One of the main problems you have when you're going to remake something Pep Guardiola does is that he does so many different things in the same year that is almost impossible. Okay, what kind of these game styles do you want to remake? To do that, guys, I had to analyze a little bit what he have done this season. I will also especially take the game against Southampton that they played today, just the day before New Year, their last game in 2018. Okay, so I just want to we will not go after team. We are not going into the coaches, training methods, and anything like that. We are going straight to the formation, to the style. And I have a picture in my head. I'm going to show you how you can use it in the championship, in the Football Manager, because it's some of this when you go to tactic here and you start touching the instruction buttons here, it's a little bit different than what you expect to do, and so it can be a little bit maybe tactical guide for you too as well. Okay, guys. We're gonna go straight on to the Gegenpress, not because we're gonna play Gegenpress, but Gegenpress have some setups that's okay to build around. You need a formation, you need a style, so let's go for this one, and 4-1-1, that's okay. Okay, guys, in my head I'm just gonna, we start with something here, then we go look at the players, and we come back here and change it a little bit, and we go into the 1-on-1 players and make the differences in play instructions. Okay. One thing here is I start on top, because I know we can start from the top. I think that's better for me. Okay, that's that's the easiest part. The thing is, when you see City play, many people who want to remake this system use the striker as a false nine, and I'm just going to use a quick pick here. That was not so smart. Because, for example, we're going to use Aguero here, and they use Sané normally at the left, they use Sterling at the right, they use Ederson in goal. Normally, we have Kyle Walker at the right, Laporte at the left, Stones, I think, at the right, and you got hopefully Mendy at the left, and Fernandinho in the middle, of course. This year, you have seen the rebirth of Bernardo Silva. He came last year. He did okay, but this year he really have really shown himself. One of the reasons is because of World Cup, and De Bruyne came late. De Bruyne was injured later, so he got time to shine. But normally it's De Bruyne playing at the left, and I think Bernardo Silva will be the new David Silva with time. Okay. And De Bruyne plays at the right. There you go, my friend. Okay. If we start at top here, many people will go in here and you will poke Aguero as a false number 9. And yes, he comes down and he link ups the play. He does that. He comes down, he link ups the game. But the problem in Football Manager is if you use him as a false number 9, he will drop down to get the ball. But the main issue here is he will not score goals. Remember, Aguero is a vicious player inside the box as well. The difference of Aguero before Pep Guardiola and after Guardiola is that after Pep Guardiola came, he have start running more. He's taking more responsibility, especially in the defensive part of the game. So then Trequista is also off the table because he's pressing really hard lately. He's really doing a good job at the defensive part of the game. False 9 will also fall off because he's dropping down, but he's not dropping that deep as many people think. Remember, one of the main points of City is that Manchester City used these two boys extremely high up in the field. Okay, he used them almost here when they got the ball in the opposition's half, and sometimes you can see. And the thing at the right side, he's more De Bruyne makes more movement. For example, he is like taking inside runs for the winger, or the fullback is standing here, and he's roaming more here. And you got David Silva, he's more roaming here, and he's also coming very well into the box when this crosses. Especially last year, he was extremely well on that. So he got this player high up. So when you see Aguero is not dropping down here, Aguero is dropping down here. But his main issue is he wants Aguero in the front of goal. Aguero scores goals. He scored a lot of tap-ins. So I think the false number 9 will go away. Trequista is also off the table. So okay, you think, okay, is he poacher? No. Poacher is, then he just works inside the box, okay? Is he a deep line forward? In my opinion, a deep line forward works more as a target player. He isn't a target player either. So, the best thing I would do is use him as a complete forward, not in support. Again, many people will use him in support because you start to think that the difference, the distance between Aguero and the midfielders will be too far. You need him in support duty. No, use him in attack duty, and you can go inside of him, inside here, because in attack duty he scores goals. You need Aguero in the box, especially when you got these guys so low in the. There are a lot of meters they have to follow up to come inside the box. Okay, you need Aguero attacking inside the box. Okay, as a complete forward, he will do everything. Many people are very skeptical to the. If you want to play possession football, guys, complete forward is perfect. If you're gonna go in with the false number 9 or a poacher, you need a partner beside them. Okay, and anyway, you go here and you can see here he gets forward. We want him to get forward. We want him to roam from his position, absolutely move into channels. He's extremely well on that. Remember, City, and we can come to more to team instructions later, but City passes the ball into the last part. They get the ball high up in the field, and you see runs against the box. Especially Sane and Sterling are the players they are trying to find, and but you need players who can move here. So the main objective we want to get the ball inside this part of the field. As you can see here, these 6 boxes you got here. We want the ball inside here, and from here we want pass into space, where Sane and Sterling either dribbles one-on-one or they get the ball behind here. And who do you need in the box? You need Aguero and Silva or De Bruyne. One of those 2 players have to join in. Okay. At the right, I just wanted to say something. Okay, remember one thing, guys. Player traits. He comes deep to get the ball, and he gets forward here. You ask him to get forward. What I can promise you is, because of his trait to come deep to get the ball, he will come deep and get the ball sometimes. So his playing style will balance the game. These traits, these things he will do. He will place us his shots. You cannot overcome that. He will run with the ball often, and he will come deep to get the ball. But now you have added other things, so it will balance this. So these things he will do. So you don't need to see at this part at all. These things he will do. You cannot overdo this part. You can balance it, make him do it a little bit, other things beside, a little bit less. Okay. At the left, Sane is playing as a winger in attack. Then we have the new questions. Run wide with the ball. He doesn't like to run wide with the ball. He wants to cut inside, especially from right wing. But he will cut inside. And I've seen something, guys. I also use Coleman in Bayern München as a right winger. You use possession. You use the winger as attack. They will score a lot of goals, especially if they are pacey and good to dribblers. He's both of them. He automatically come in the box and score a lot of goals. Okay, but one thing you need is a lot of runs from him. So we need him to get forward. He's doing that already. So you see a lot of movement here, and passing directness. This is something we'll come into later. This will be overruled by the team instructions. Do we want him to roam? Maybe, but we can see what he can do. And yeah, okay, that's it. And at the right side, this one is a little bit hard. In my opinion, this is an inside forward. But the problem is when Mars is playing, it's inside forward in support. when it's Sterling is inside forward in attack, and Sterling is the one who's playing the most of the time, so we're gonna go with the inside forward in attack. He's getting this is extremely important to tuck on, get 44. This is set at anyway, so if you're gonna go use support, tag this one out in the City special, City style, the total football style, like Bayern München did on the with Mourinho, the way Barcelona is playing. If you're using, for example, Messi at the right side, the inside forward in support, tack this on. You will see a lot of more movements. You will see a lot of more goals coming from the player. This is more movement in the last third part of the game, and that is what these players do. These players have a lot of movement in the last third part of the game in the possession style. If you tuck this on and you're playing counter-attack, you can get some problems. Okay, but anyway, we are using an attack, so he's already going there. You can roam him from position, but we will not tickle with this one right now, because we're gonna give him a little bit more creativity. These players set, he is set, and the thing is behind here. He's a inverted wing back, but the thing is again here, when Mendy plays, Mendy sometimes come here. He's the one who's overlap. He got great crossing, but when he goes out, they normally goes inside. But Mendy plays both inverted fullback, and he also play and wing back. But the deal is that Fernandinho comes down and the left back comes down to get the ball, and they push De Bruyne and Silva as high up in the field as possible in the build up. They track these two players high up in the field, and one of the reasons is you can stretch the opponent, you stretch your own team. So in Barcelona, Pep Guardiola used both Xavi and the Busquets in the build-up very much. Busquets in the build-up, but then when they had the ball here, you saw Xavi go a little bit higher up in the field, and Busquets was keeping here as a block to defend. But at this point, he uses his fullbacks here to make two players playing out from defense. But there are some things we have to tackle here, guys. Okay. One of the things is that, as you can see, he sits narrow now. But this doesn't mean, when you use him as an inverted wingback in support, this doesn't mean that he will always sit deep. He will go underlaps, and I can promise you, he will go a lot of underlaps at the left side if you took him at use the support duty here. And one thing we want him is to take few risk, and I'm going to show you why. We go back to the map here, and this part of the game, okay? You see here behind Aguero in this angle. So what we're gonna do is that Silva gonna come high up in the field. We're gonna use him inside here. We want Silva and De Bruyne to be inside here when we have the ball. We want Sane playing outside here when we have the ball, and we want Sterling to stand outside the ball when we have the ball. So the thing is that then you need protection around this. You see, so the players who we want to attack with is Silva and De Bruyne. When they get the ball, they send it out to Sterling, Sane, Aguero. So we need players like Walker defending outside here. So when the ball comes out wide here, Walker gets the ball, recycles it to Mendy and Fernandinho. So Mendy and Fernandinho, you see, you're protecting this wall. So Sterling sometimes come down here, but then Walker has all this for himself. So when Sterling goes in here, and we lose City loses the ball, and he comes in the red spot here, Walker picks it up, recycles the ball back here, we start again, okay? And Sane is keeping since he's a winger, Mendy is playing in a way both here and here. So if Sane goes in, Mendy comes here. So that's a little. So the reason that I tuck the play simple is when Mendy gets the ball here, you need him to keep it simple. If Mendy doesn't do it safe here, keep it simple, you suddenly will see Mendy starting to throw 15 meters passes to Sterling outside here. Oof, and that's not what you're after. It's not Mendy's job to do that. It's someone else's job. Maybe a little bit Fernandinho, but more De Bruyne and Silva. So these players, they are more in a support duty. Silva, De Bruyne, they are giving it the ball to the players who are attacking it, and that's Sterling, Aguero, and Sane. So everyone has a role here. Okay, and we're going back to the Mendy because I think we have messed him up a little bit. Yes, inverted wingback, in support, and you go here, you take few risk, okay? You should also dribble less. Shoot less often. This you can have, Okay, and the reason is then you go with Kyle Walker. Kyle Walker is this is the genius part in this game. It's all about which kind of system you're playing. So you can play one kind of system, short passing play, and you use him as a fullback. You get a totally one kind of player. You play counter attack, you use him as a fullback. He will play a different style. So it's important to understand, if we want Walker to come in a support duty here, don't overlap too much, but overlap when it's possible. The main issue is to protect the wide areas here and sit a little bit more narrow, because sometimes we need him to go inside here. What kind of role should we give him? Absolutely, you should give him the complete full wingback role, because the complete wingback role, he will also come inside. He will roam from his position. He will adjust where he have to stand. And okay, Walker's decision making is 9, but it's not. It's Pep Guardiola style we are remaking, so we are not fitting it to Walker's attributes here. He has set him up for doing that, so we are going to do the same thing. If you take a look at this one, if you go and smash it on attack, you will start getting a lot of overlaps. That's not what you want. He's more in support duty. We want Sterling when he gets the ball. We don't need no overlaps from. We need overlaps sometimes, but not every time. So he's roaming from his position. He's staying wider. We want him to be. We could use him. We could use him as a wing back and sit narrow in support. You could also do that, but the problem is you will then lose the roam from position duty. So, and you will get forward. We can be using wing back in defense, but then he will sit all the time. So I think complete wing fullback, because will be the best thing. And yeah, the problem is he will dribble more, but I think we can tweak it by team instructions so he don't dribble that much. And as you can see here, is just positive, nothing more. The players, both defenders are ball playing defenders, and sweeper goalkeeper is attack. And if he's in attack, then yeah, he's in attack. Fernandinho is a deep line playmaker. In defense, he can shoot from distance. That's okay. That's no problem. And he's a deep line playmaker in defense. At the right, you have De Bruyne, or you can call him Bernardo Silva this time of the season, is Mezzala. The reason is Mezzala, he comes a lot of runs here and inside here. You will get a lot of inside movements here. So that's one of the reasons you need Walker to stand here, because when De Bruyne leaves this position and Silva is high up in the field, you need someone who can cover up inside here. So okay, problem is I don't know if you're gonna use him in attack or in defense. The main thing is that he comes deep to get the ball, so he does that sometimes, so there's no problem. He moves into channels and he roams from position. But if you're gonna go use him in attack, you will also get some more. He will take more risk, for example, and in support, he will not take that many risks. So yes, I think De Bruyne takes more risk. This is the player you want taking risk. The other players maybe don't need to take risk. This is a player you need to take risk. And at the left, you need. I would say he's advanced playmaker, but I think as advanced playmaker, he doesn't get the ball that much. So is he a center midfielder in attack, and we can take more risk? He moves into channel, he roams from position, gets forward. Is this him? And he plays very attacking mentality. So he moves into channels, and he does that normally. He tries killer balls often. That is perfect. Dictates tempo. Avoid using weaker foot. Runs with the ball often. If you go with advanced in attack, he won't move into channels that much. But he does that. Okay, so advanced playmaker I think is the best for him, because he moves into channels. He tries killer balls often. Dictates tempo. So he already got that player traits move into channels, so we don't need to add it on. He got that. So okay, advanced playmaker, and maybe he get the ball, but he doesn't get the ball that much as people. He's not standing here dictating tempo. He's inside here giving the ball to Sané, and then he starts running into the box or forward. Okay, so this is the team, this is set up. Then we go here, we play fair and narrow, and the thing is, this is the part here. Yes, they play wide. In a way, the players have a lot, but the players are very close to each other when they play. Even to this is a different part. I have seen, for example, when you see them play live, you can see, whoa, the wingers. I see Sané. He's often wide out at the areas here. Yes, this is nothing to do with that, to be honest. Maybe Football Manager wants it to be that part, but it's not that part. Is the case here is how far are the players from each other? Okay, and they are not far from each other. You see, when Sané gets the ball, you got Aguero and you got Silva right beside him, so you can get one on twos. So fair and narrow. Maybe you can even go to very narrow. You can maybe do that. Passing directness is shorter passing. You can go to much shorter, but I would start with shorter. Look at the game. Either you adjust. You could go much shorter, and you could go very narrow. You could do that too. So, but I would start here. There's no point to go crazy right away. But remember, Pep is going crazy anyway. So the tempo is high, not lower. I think it's higher tempo, and they work the ball into the box. The crosses are low. The pass into space, and play out of defense. Focus play to what's happened here is that how can I tell you? Okay, we want the ball come here, right? This is the area we want to. If you don't go in here and you push this button here, you say, but I want my players to go to Sané and Sterling. It's not that's what's going to happen. The thing is that when you got the possession, when you have the ball, which areas will be free? Your flanks. Okay? So normally they will go to the flanks. If you go here, you pick on these two one, what will happen? You will get a lot of overlaps and a lot of movement at the flanks, and they will pressure the ball around. You will get extremely a lot of crosses into the box. Don't do it. But if you touch this button here, what you will do, you will get a lot of movement here. And when it's possible, the players, remember, these players got good decision making. They will go out flank, but they will not end the attack. When they go out wide here, it's because there is no room here. They go wide and they go back into the center. But if you, again, I tell you, if you touch these two buttons, the ball goes out to Kyle Walker here. Kyle Walker will cross the ball or start dribbling at the side each time he gets the ball. We don't want that. We want more creativity. We want more attack from the middle here. And we can see here, he's balanced. That's very good. And you got two players. So these are those two players we need to get the ball to. These are the players we want to attack with. Silva, De Bruyne gets the ball. They will give it to Sané and Sterling and Aguero. And work the ball into box. I would maybe take dribble less. And the reason is, I can show you here. You don't want that many dribbles. De Bruyne will dribble anyway. Silva will dribble. Salah will dribble. Sterling will dribble. We have to put him as an inside forward. I'm sorry, in attack. And so it's dribble less. You keep the ball. Then Mendy and these players will not start dribbling. In translation, they use counter press. Remember that Manchester City have scored most goals of any teams when they have corners against them. So they are extremely well on the counter attacks. They will counter, take short kicks, distribute to the center backs. And this is one of the use offside trap. Yes, they use tighter marking. Get stuck in. I would, if you don't win the ball enough, check it out. If not, keep it on. Okay. I would go again. Don't go crazy from start. Start here. Do it like this. So here we got the formation that we start. And what will happen here, guys, is you will get the ball in the build-up. You will see Mendy and Fernandinho coming here and get the ball. You got players such as Silva coming high up in the field, and he will not come down to get the ball, as he doesn't have that on his traits. But he's an advanced playmaker. He wants the ball. But the main issue is here these four players, and they're good with the ball. Mendy is good with the ball. Look at his. Not that good, but okay, we're talking about real life here. Mendy is good with the ball. Laporte is extremely good with the ball in the build-up of the game. So is Stones. These two have one of the best passing foots in the game and in the real life as a central defenders. So these four players, and Ederson and Fernandinho, Mendy, Laporte and Stones, will start to build up. And when they are under pressure, you will get help from De Bruyne, as he had he's set on comes deep to get the ball. So if they are under pressure and they are passing the ball together because they're not finding anything, you will see De Bruyne automatically come down here to get the ball. And that's what's happening in the real life. And as Silva is set up as an advanced playmaker, he wants also the ball. So if they are not finding any solutions, you will see Silva coming down on the field. But you have to tweak it, advance in attack. So when you open it up, they will run forward. And you need to get Silva, De Bruyne inside here as fast as possible. As fast as possible, you need to get them inside here. Then you need Fernandinho and Mendy covering the line here. So when the ball comes out, they can recycle the ball, give it to Silva, Mendy, and sometimes Aguero comes deep to get the ball there. And when you're on the flanks, one-on-one, dribble, and sometimes you get movement here. And the other thing is here, overlap, underlap. In real life, I would say you have both underlaps and you have overlaps. So I'm not daring to touch anything before I'm seeing them play, because you will see De Bruyne here underlapping. You will see some few times Mendy underlapping. But you say to me, maybe, but because you're saying Sterling going inside here, so then you want Mendy to come up here. No, I'm not asking Mendy to do that, because Nawaki to do that, because he will do it anyway. And the thing I'm a little careful, he should be careful, is the Mezzala and the Sterling here. What will happen is, because I think there will be a battle of spaces here, but I think it will work okay. I have played similar, because remember, Ajax system is very similar to the Manchester City system. The coach of Ajax was the assistant coach and the B team coach for Bayern München when Pep Guardiola was there. It's very similar. It is very like, both of them like to come here and they want to pass the ball into space, and at the last third part here, and they want to create chances. The difference is that Pep in Premier League has shown a little more abilities for crosses, and because you have to use it more and more. And I use it in this game, and it really worked. I topped the league with the Ajax. I won 6-1, and it was great to see. And you saw what you want to see. The ball comes here. Your wingers was awfully well, and but you need to find the balance here. How you can get the ball here? Because remember, if you got Silva, you got De Bruyne here. You just need cover up behind. Who is covering? The Fernandinho is covering. who is creating here. Both Fernandinho in the build-up is creating, Silva is creating, and that's what they do in the real life. And you have De Bruyne, who is a little roamer around here, and both creating, and he's creating and stretching the play. And you got Sterling and Sane attacking at each side. The only problem I can see in the game here is Winger in a very ball possession style is some few times lethal, and sometimes I have adjusted positive here. If you don't create enough chances, click on. If you don't create enough big chances, you go around here, you set it in attacking. You can some games go attacking, sometimes positive. You can go very attacking. If you're one goal behind, go to very attacking or attacking. The reason I go on positive here and not higher up is because I don't want these players to be too creative. I want them to pass the ball, keep tempo, get the opposition moving, and then pass the ball to Silva and De Bruyne, who is inside here. And the other part here, guys, you should be also aware of, and I think it's is that when you have started the play, go to analyzes and look at goals. See where are your goals coming through. Is it through balls? Which kind of goals are you scoring? You cannot see it here, but because we haven't played any games. And start, if you're not scoring if you keep assisting a lot from the flanks, like crosses, flanks, you need a balance here. You need a lot of assists coming both from central and the wide areas. Not because it's important for the game, it's important for the style. So this is for those of you who really like to go in and remake styles. This will work, guys. I will promise you that it will work. You have to also go inside a little bit and work with the play traits. Here, for example, if you want him to do something and you don't want to hit the button here, play instruction, you go and learn them up. And the cool thing is, when you got an idea of how you want to play, you can go down here into the junior teams. You will make them play the style you want to play. And Pep Guardiola is not only in City because they got a lot of money. I think he's there to build a foundation, a way to play, and so City can build on further forward. Guys, I hope this was any good for you. If not, please say so. If you want any other coaches you want me to recreate for you, just say it and I will try to recreate as well as possible. Thank you, guys.